This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy to see if you could save when you bundle your home and auto policies. Try it at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
Support for this podcast comes from Progressive, America's #1 motorcycle insurer. Did you know riders who switch and save with Progressive save nearly $200 per year? That's a whole new pair of riding gloves and more. Quote today. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National average 12-month savings of $197 by new customers surveyed who save with Progressive between October 2024 and September 2025. Potential savings will vary.
This is Talkin' Rock. Talkin' Rock. Your backstage pass to some of your favorite rock artists. Here's your host, Meltdown.
Another 2 for the price of 1 to kick off your weekend. As I record this on Friday with the Talkin' Rock with Meltdown podcast, I appreciate you downloading, listening, wherever you may be across this gigantic rock audience. Thank you so much. You know, I grew up in Buffalo, New York, and there's this new musician. His name is Perdz, also from Buffalo, and we'll talk with him here coming up in a few minutes. As he's kind of a solo guy, but he's put together this band, and he's taking it out on tour. And if you're in the Southeast Michigan area, that's going to be here on June 14th at this place called the L Club, which is in Southwest Detroit. We'll talk with Ryan in a few minutes, but first, the legendary Ian Gillan from Deep Purple. I've never had a chance to talk to him before, and as I talk about in the interview, my musical tastes were starting to form in the early 80s, and they dropped Perfect Strangers, and to this day, it's still one of my favorite records. Well, they have a new record coming out. It's called Splat, and that comes out on July 3rd. Once again, produced by Bob Ezrin. I asked him about that, why he chooses Bob Ezrin. What does new music mean to a band like Deep Purple? I mean, you know, Ian's going to be 81 years old this year. These guys aren't slowing down. They're 24th studio record. So lots to get to with Ian Gillan today. I had a short amount of time, and I tried to fill it with as much information as possible. With Ian Gillan from Deep Purple starting us off first.
Hello.
Hey, Ian, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you very much.
Great to talk to you. I've been in this business for 3.5 decades, and I've never had a chance to talk to you before. You know, it's kind of funny. I was thinking about this earlier when I first got into rock and roll back in the early to mid 80s. You guys dropped Perfect Strangers, and I tell you what, it's still one of my favorite records to this day.
Well, thank you. That's great. That was a good time, the reunion, yeah.
Yeah, you guys have gotten back together and put that record out, and now you're on your 24th record, Splat. What does new music mean to Ian and the guys from Deep Purple at this point in the game?
Well, in principle, nothing's changed. It's just the ideas are fresh. We still get together for a week and write and come up with 25 songs, and then a month later we do it again and come up with another 25, and then we knock it down to 16 of the best and start developing those. Then we get the producer in to work on the arrangements with us, and because we need a single mind to do that. And then we learn the songs, go in the studio, sit around in a circle and perform them live. And nothing's changed since '69. But of course the technology's changed completely, but organically the band is identical.
And you guys feel the need for new music. It just makes you feel alive, makes you feel fresh?
Well, yeah, that's got me. You know, when you feel like getting up and doing something, you just get up and do it. And well, it's like that. It's hard to explain. It's, you know, human chemistry is beyond all understanding. But there's a vibe in the band now for the last few years that is just unbelievable, and it's full of ideas and creativity. I think, you know, it's always like that on stage because there's elements of improvisation every night. You never quite know what's going to happen. But when it comes to writing, we've got this new guy, Simon McBride, who joined us one album ago. And, you know, he's bursting at the seams. So, you know, we all pick up on that, and the vibe is strong and exciting. And, yeah, well, I'm just packing for Helsinki. I'm off to Helsinki on Monday, and we start the tour, which doesn't finish till December 20th in Mexico. And then we got this wonderful 5 weeks in the States in the summer.
Yeah, I was reading between the lines when you were talking about the last couple of years, and of course, bringing Simon in, like you said, gives you a little bit of renewed energy there. And then you just mentioned working with the producer. So you've worked with Bob Ezrin for the past 5 or 6 records, and obviously he's a well-known producer. Why do you guys keep working with him? What does he bring to the table?
Well, a lot. As I say, we do the writing first, and then when we get to the point where we start working on arrangements, that's when Bob comes in. He's a great director at that, with his experience and his sense of immediacy. With the 5 guys in the band, we've never actually had a leader in the band. It's kind of, it's kind of this headless monster. So we do tend to perhaps drag things out a bit in the rehearsals and writing sessions and make the arrangements maybe a bit long because somebody wants to develop that section of the song. And he goes, well, no, I'm not liking that. And so it's good to have one voice as a conductor. And then, of course, in the studio, his recording techniques are sensationally professional. And the sound he gets for us is the best we've ever had. So, plus with Bob Ezrin. Yeah, he's a great guy and one of the greatest producers, for sure.
Now, I've only heard the 2 songs so far, Arrogant Boy and Diablo, and I've heard you mention this in the past, that this record is heavier. Was that something you guys anticipated going into recording the studio, or did it just happen? And what makes this record heavier? I mean, not heavier, maybe the heaviest, but what makes it a little bit heavier from recent stuff?
Well, I think Simon settled in, so it's more relaxed. It's things come naturally. We find a good groove. We tend to develop that, even if it's just a simple structure. If it feels good, we put it to one side and think, well, there's maybe an idea there we can work on, develop the structure, and without losing the feel. And so his energy is really, he's an immaculate player. Immaculate. And I think also you'll find the drums and bass are higher in the mix on this record than they have been previously. On any record, I think, Deep Purple record. So it's got a very energetic energy, a lot of energy.
Yeah. And in the first 2 songs you released so far, I noticed during the guitar solo stuff, there's like a guitar solo / keyboard solo. It's like that's something unique to Deep Purple.
Yeah, well, we can't escape what we are. And so this happens every night. They're trading off and they're playing. These guys play their instruments the same way as you and I use words in a conversation. We don't think ahead. You sort of respond and get on with it. And so they talk to each other instrumentally all night long. It's a joy to watch. But the other thing is they know when to back off and to be part of this, the rhythm section too. So it's my favorite part of the evening, actually, is when I'm not singing. I step back between the drums and the keyboards, and I've got the best seat in the house. The sound balance there is perfect. So I just get off on that and forget to come back sometimes.
I can imagine. So yeah, Splat comes out here coming up in just, what is that, under a month, right? Beginning in July, if I'm not mistaken, July 3rd. Yeah. So good luck.
July, yeah.
Good luck on that. I just wanted to pass along a story that I heard many years ago. I had, and you've probably heard similar stories to this, but I had Dimebag, Darrell, and Vinnie Paul from Pantera in the studio with me. This is around 2004. And I asked them, I said, what was the first song you guys ever played together? And they both started right away with Smoke on the Water. You must hear stories about that song all the time. And I mean, those guys are legendary players, and they just loved getting into that song and playing that song.
When we were kids, I started. Well, the young musicians, none of whom could really play the guitar properly, and not even. I don't think any of them had 6 strings. It was all beaten up gear and what we could afford. But we all learned from blues and Chuck Berry and that sort of thing, 3-chord structures that you could learn to play pretty quickly, and then you get the rhythm going and you're off. And you're captured for life then. And things develop as you become more adept at your instruments and your craft. But the fun of it is there. The engine room is always very important. Smoke is a simple structure. And I think one of the great bonuses of that is instrumentally, it's not too difficult, although it is, for a young guitar player to pick it up and play those chords.
Yeah, I think I attempted it a few times myself when I thought I could be a guitar player many, many years ago. But that story always stuck with me, that those two guys were glued at the hip. And as soon as I asked them, I said, what song did you guys play first? They both immediately went right into it, doing the mouth guitar and everything. And it was just something I'll never forget.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a great story. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, so, those guys, man, I'll tell you what, miss both of them. But Ian, congratulations on the new record, July 3rd, that comes out, and really a privilege and honor to talk to you. Good luck with everything this year, and maybe you'll see you next time here in Detroit.
I love it. Thank you so much.
Ever wonder who's out there making the world go round? It's truckers. Who unites baristas with coffee beans? Truckers. Who unites dogs with their favorite chew toy? Truckers. That's why Progressive offers truckers even more protection with Cargo Plus coverage to keep truckers moving right along. Quote truck insurance today in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Coverage subject to policy terms, limits, and conditions. Not yet available in California, New York, and Virginia. You're listening to this podcast, so I know you've got a curious mind. Here's a helpful fact you might not know yet. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive save over $900 on average. Pop over to Progressive.com, answer some questions, and you'll get a quick quote with discounts that are easy to come by. In fact, 99% of their auto customers earn at least one discount. Visit Progressive.com and see if you can enjoy a little cash back. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National average 12-month savings of $946 by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive between June 2024 and May 2025. Potential savings will vary.
As a small business owner, sometimes it feels like no matter how much planning you do, there's always surprises, like an urgent, expensive repair. But here's a surprise you will like. With Progressive, small business owners save 13% on their commercial auto insurance when they pay in full. So enjoy a surprise for once. Get a quote in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
Buffalonian Ryan Perdz is up next. His solo album, Can't Cry, drops in August. We talk about that. We talk about the influence grunge had on him, as well as, the influence of his older brothers as well. What's it like playing around Buffalo? What's it like putting a band together? Because he's pretty much a solo artist, and now he's got a band. He's out in Los Angeles during this interview. Place which you didn't seem too keen on. You can also watch this interview at WRIF.com and on YouTube as well. It's Ryan Perdz. And like I said, he's out in Los Angeles.
Yeah, in rehearsal.
Yeah.
We went to the Rainbow last night, so it was fun.
Was that the first time you were there?
No. I'm here all the time now, whether I like it or not. But there's karaoke at the Rainbow, too, so that was fun.
Oh, did you do it?
I did.
What did you sing?
So I actually have a cover that's coming out too in like a couple weeks, but I did Time to Pretend, MGMT.
Okay. Nice. Yeah, I was curious to see what kind of cover you were going to do. Some of the stuff I've heard so far, obviously, has the Chris Cornell tinge, so you've probably heard that a million times.
I mean, yeah, Chris Cornell is my biggest inspiration for sure. I try not to like quote unquote mimic or whatever, but sometimes it just shows through because I like listening to him.
Yeah, well, I mean, take that as a huge compliment because he was one of the best singers to come out of that era for sure.
Yeah, I think the best vocally. I say like Lane Staley is the best grunge singer, but then Chris Cornell is the best singer.
That makes sense. Yeah, I can go for that. I was just telling you before we got on that I started my career in Buffalo, and I can remember the first time I heard Soundgarden, and I played Outshined on the radio, and I'm like, this is like a modern day Black Sabbath. And then, unfortunately, or whichever way you want to look at it, I did see the last Soundgarden show.
Really? The last one?
Yeah, because that was here in Detroit.
Damn.
So,
that's intense.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. But Ryan, good to talk to you and make your acquaintance. You're coming to the Elk Club on June 14th. The new record, Can't Cry, comes out on August 14th. So I've heard a couple of the tracks, Sour, Heavy Eyes, of course. What's the rest of the record like?
I would say it's right on par with those.
Okay.
The rest of the record, very guitar driven. I really tried to focus on it. Heavy Eyes, it's the soft to loud ratio, soft verse, let it breathe, loud chorus. Do that a bunch of times. Sing about hating yourself, and there you go. There's my album right there.
You can't sing about hating yourself too much, man. You got to have some love for yourself.
Well, you gotta hate the girl that left you too. That's some of the songs,
Well, that's the history of rock and roll, I suppose, right?
Yeah.
So there's the old saying, you've probably heard it, that, you could spend your whole life putting out your first record, but, not that long putting out your second. So have you had these songs locked up for quite a while?
Well, actually, I haven't released a full record, but I've released like multiple EPs and a lot of singles too before this. So yeah, I've been cooking along a lot, but this is my first time working with a producer for music. So this was a definite different experience. I don't know if you know Sam Hollander. He brought me in to work with him, and it's been crazy. Like, I started working with him, and then I got management. Finally, I got signed. It's been cool over the past couple of years.
So where did you record this record at?
So Mount Kisco, New York, in this renovated barn, Raw Studios. Just hung out in there and went to town.
Yeah. And how long did it take you to record this album?
Oh, geez. A while, because we recorded some songs. We had like half of it done, and then we recorded. We stayed in the studio for like 2 weeks and recorded the rest of the album. And then I actually did all the guitar from home, so it's hard to really gauge how long it took. But I like doing guitars just by myself, because it takes me so many takes to get the right take. I don't need someone watching me do guitar, honestly, in the studio.
Now, why does it take you so many takes? Are you like a perfectionist, or are you just looking for a certain sound, or what's the deal with that?
I think I just suck at guitar, to be honest. No. I don't know. I mess up a lot. Like if I'm writing, and I'm a perfectionist, like I want to sound like the guys that I like to listen to. So yeah, I guess I'm a perfectionist maybe, but guitars definitely take me the most time on a record.
Mm-hmm. And why did you go with like your name and not like a band, like whatever? What's the deal with that? Is this like your dream, your image, your everything? You're the front, the voice, the face, and everything of this project?
I mean, I've been rocking with my name since I was born, so I figured to stick with it. But no, I mean, I've never had band members. So around Buffalo growing up, I would play acoustically everywhere. And then up until literally January, I've never had band members. So I never went with a band name or whatever, because, I first off, I loved Ray LaMontagne. I love David Gray, all these people that have bands, but they go by their name. So it's not too outrageous.
Now, I've been out of Buffalo for over 30 years, but I do know that they do these porch concerts and stuff. Did you ever do any of those?
Yeah, one of my friends did like an Oz Fest last year on their porch, kind of like a tribute to Ozzy. That was like a porch fest type of thing. I sang War Pigs.
Mm. Yeah, that's cool. And I saw in the one video, you're actually sitting on a porch. Was that in Buffalo, or was that somewhere else?
For the Heavy Eyes?
Yeah.
Yeah, we shot that video in LA.
Oh, that's what I thought. Yeah, I was going to say it. I was looking around, didn't look very Buffalo. So you mentioned growing up there and stuff. What kind of stuff influenced your sound growing up in Buffalo? Is it just all the grunge sound? I mean, here in Detroit, there's rock bands that seem to come out every other day. In Buffalo, it's like the Goo Goo Dolls came out like 30 years ago, and I don't know how much comes out anymore.
Yeah, music in Buffalo isn't really too, like, I don't know. I don't think there's really a music scene in Buffalo. I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but like they're going to attack me for this. But Buffalo is a great place, though. Very supportive. Like if there was like a music like boom in there, people would be so supportive. I mean, look at the Bills, look at the Sabres and everything. Like people really love to support people in Buffalo, which is amazing. Really great town. I'm proud to have grown up there and everything. I love chicken wings. Duff's is great. Shout out to Duff's.
I was only at Duff's once and they were too hot. I'd ordered the wrong ones, I think. But I ate at the Anchor Bar one time with the band Cinderella. Do you remember Cinderella?
I don't.
Yeah, they were an 80s band, a hair metal band. But yeah. So tell me more about this, about growing up in Buffalo. Where did you get your music from? Was it the radio or just sort of streaming? Where did you get when did you discover? Because, you know, I've seen some things that you're talking about, you know, obviously a lot of the grunge stuff. How do you discover all that? You got older brothers or is your dad playing it or what?
I have 3 older brothers. They're all like 2 are 11 years older than me and 1's 8 years older than me. So, I mean, they were listening to Foo Fighters, Chili Peppers all the time, Nirvana all the time. And my brother had a Zune. I don't know if you remember what that is, but he had like all these songs downloaded on the computer from it, like for free. Or we would go to the library and then you could sync it to the Zune. So then we would have the music forever. Mm-hmm. So I would listen to that. And I would just go through, I like really loved Guns N' Roses for a while. I used to do Welcome to the Jungle when I was like 6 years old on karaoke at the house, which is funny. But yeah, I think my brothers kind of introduced me to that stuff, like the grunge stuff, I would say. But yeah, my dad also likes it, but he kind of got me into Michael Jackson growing up. I really loved Michael Jackson. But yeah,
the movie.
Yeah, I love the movie. I thought it was cool. I'm excited for the second one to come out for sure. I did wish the movie focused more on like the dances and his fashion and stuff, but I get it. You know, his relationship with his father is important too. Did you see the movie?
I did not see it. I'm not a huge Michael Jackson fan, but just mentioned about the relationship with his father. What's the relationship with your parents and how supportive are they of you, of what you're doing?
It's fucking awful, man. No, I'm kidding. They're great. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them being supportive. When nobody else supported me, they supported me. I mean, they still support me. So yeah, I owe it to them.
Where did you play around Buffalo? Were you doing gigs at like I don't know, where do you play in Buffalo?
I used to play at this hotel all the time, the Lounge Act. Just anywhere, restaurants. Really, I never played like a music venue per se. It was always like in the background with my acoustic guitar at restaurants or bars.
And so when you come out on this tour, is this going to be like the first time you're playing music venues?
Well, this year I've played a couple. I played at the Whiskey Go-Go this year, which was really cool. I did Silver Lining in New York City, which was really cool. But this will be my first like line of shows with the band.
And you guys have been rehearsing, I take it?
Yeah, since we got together this year, we've been rehearsing like nonstop all the time. So we have fun with it.
What kind of stuff are you into now?
Music wise?
Yeah.
Okay. I've been listening, actually Return to Dust. I've been listening to their new songs. They're my buddies.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Shout out Return to Dust. London, he was at the Rainbow last night. But yeah, I love them. But other than that, I just listen to the same shit I've always listened to. Like, I love Red Hot Chili Peppers. They're one of my favorite bands ever. For guitar, John Frusciante is probably my favorite guitarist ever.
Do you consider yourself kind of an older soul because you're listening to all this stuff that like older people listen to?
I don't know. That's like saying if you read the newspaper, you're like different. I don't know. It's like it's available to me, so I don't know if I'm an old soul, but I don't know. I feel like if I said that about myself, it would be kind of weird. But well, I do like older music for sure.
Yeah, Taylor Momsen has kind of told me the same thing, and she does consider herself an old soul. She's like she listens to all this stuff that her dad listened to, and that's how she kind of formed her musical chops.
Yeah, she's an old soul then. I like that. Screw it. I don't know.
So will this be this will probably be your first time coming to Detroit, right?
Yes, actually. Yeah, I'm excited.
And I just talked about all the music that's come out of here. I mean, do you have anything from Detroit, music wise that you like? I mean, I Prevail's from out of here, Nugent, Eminem, Jack White, Kid Rock. I mean, the Alice Cooper, the Seeger, the list is endless.
Jack White.
Yeah.
Come on. How could you not like Jack White? If you don't like Jack White and you're like a rock musician, then just put down a guitar. Like you don't know what you're talking about. Everybody likes Jack White if they're a musician.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll give you this a good plug for the Out Club coming up on June 14th, and the record Can't Cry comes out on August 14th, and I'm assuming it's going to be available in all sorts of physical copies as well.
Yeah, we're working vinyls, whatever it may be.
Are you a vinyl guy?
I'm a vinyl guy, yeah.
See, you're an old soul. I'm a vinyl guy, too, and I'm much older than you are.
Yeah.
All right, dude. Well, listen, have a great time out there in Los Angeles. Better you than me, I have to say. But when next time you're at the whiskey, make sure you do a shot for Lemmy.
Okay.
Buffalonian Ryan Perdz and Ian Gillan today on the big show. Thank you so much for checking it out. I've already got one interview with a legendary guitarist finished. I haven't decided if I'm going to post that today or not. I've got some other hooks in the water as far as interviews. I know I got one coming up next week, maybe even two. I can't recall now. I'll have to look at my Meltdown Magic whiteboard because that's where I keep all that stuff. Yeah, it's technological. It's very savvy. It's right over here next to me, but I can't see it from where I'm sitting. Anyways, thank you so much for checking out the Talkin' Rock with Meltdown podcast. Give me a follow on socials at Meltdown Rocks and Meltdown WRIF on Facebook.
Thank you for listening to Talkin' Rock with Meltdown. You can help this podcast grow by giving it a 5-star rating and writing a review on Apple and iTunes. Plus, feel free to subscribe and share it with your friends. Until next time, thanks for listening to Talkin' Rock.
As a small business owner, sometimes it feels like no matter how much planning you do, there's always surprises, like an urgent, expensive repair. But here's a surprise you will like. With Progressive, small business owners save 13% on their commercial auto insurance when they pay in full. So enjoy a surprise for once. Get a quote in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
Ever notice how life's best stories don't happen in your living room? They happen on the open road, out on the water, or parked under the stars. At Progressive, they get that you want to focus on the experience, not worry about the what-ifs. That's why they offer quality insurance designed for your ride, whether that's a boat, RV, or motorcycle. Adventure with confidence. Visit Progressive.com and see how easy it is to protect your favorite way to get away. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in D.C. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Truckers aren't just moving goods. They're making sure bakers get their chocolate chips and hotels get their tiny soaps. But truckers can't do this if they're not on the road. That's why Progressive has over 360 heavy truck employees to help truckers stay on time and on track. Quote truck insurance today in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.